I should be live. I'm going to double check on my phone to make sure I am, but thank you guys so much for joining in. It is 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 o'clock Central, and my name is Mary Mays. I'm a meteorologist with Weather and Radar, and if you are joining in for the first time, welcome. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't. Also consider downloading the Weather and Radar app because that gives you everything you need to know about the forecast and what's going on. And I'm trying to make sure that this is actually streaming because sometimes I've had issues in the past. Okay, good news. I've got audio, everything looks good. So I was mentioning, feel free to subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already. And download the Weather and Radar app. It is really easy to use. That's how we make it. And, we put all of this information on here for you so you can know not only what's happening with the forecast, but also about things like damaging tornadoes, which we had yesterday in Oklahoma, especially in the communities of Bartlesville and Barnsdall. And there were, there was an EF3 tornado with winds in excess of 136 miles per hour. So it was quite awful, but our weather, I'm trying to think of our weather reporter in the field, Jonathan Petramala, this is him right here, was out there getting us information. We've got multiple videos up right now, not only on the app, but it's also on weatherandradar.com, so you can go and see not only the damage, but what was happening yesterday as the storms were approaching. So you can see just how eerie it looks right there. But yeah, it's just really awful damage. One person unfortunately was killed. They're still looking for some other people. Really heartbreaking to see that. And unfortunately, the severe weather threat continues today and into tomorrow. The difference is it has shifted to the east. And I like to start out with what you get from the Weather and Radar app because, this is the best way to see what's going on. You can look at different cities, you can get the forecast in your area, and then of course we have the weather radar, the lightning radar, the rain radar, the wind radar. It gives you all the information you need, but we also get these forecasts for you that really break down all of these threats. And right now the our two main stories are the severe weather shifting east today, and you can get all of the latest updates in this article right here. You get the video, the risk areas, everything you need to know about the threat. And we also break it down into, winds, tornadoes. That's what we're looking at today. And then also we have, this article on the extreme heat that's going on in the south and east. So a lot going on with the weather today. I just wanted to give you an update on that. And for folks who are just now joining in, I've been talking a little bit about, what you can see here on weatherandradar.com. This is also all available on the app. You get 14 days of weather, the highs, the lows, chances of rain, thunderstorms. You get everything you could possibly need and then more. If you get on the app, you get, all the astronomy information you need, sunrise, sunset, moonrise, moon phase, that sort of thing. We even have ski weather. It's pretty amazing. And with the app, you can get no ads, which is what I have on my phone. But, for the folks who are just joining in, my name is Mary Mays. I'm a meteorologist with Weather and Radar. And this app is run by a team of meteorologists. So we're always ready with the latest information, the most updated information. And, we like to give you the forecast you need to stay safe. So I mentioned there's a severe weather threat today. You've got this frontal boundary kind of coming off this big old low that's spinning over the northern plains. Yesterday we had all of the action in the central and southern plains. Today the threat has shifted more east into the Ohio River Valley, parts of the Mississippi River Valley. And when you look at our weather radar, this is right now, you see the lightning, you see the heavy rain. You might think, well, all these strong storms are at Columbus down into eastern Kentucky, and that's actually not the main event. Now, these have been producing severe thunderstorm winds. We've had a couple of warnings with this line right here, which is currently stretching from Columbus down into eastern Kentucky, about to move into Huntington, West Virginia there. But this is actually the bigger severe weather threat right here. The storms, kind of this little cluster here, moving through Wisconsin into Illinois. So Chicago looking a little stormy there. We can kind of, this is how far you can zoom in. You can really get a closer view of what's going on. So just south of Chicago proper, you've got a thunderstorm there along 94, 20, and then over into Joliet. Quite stormy for you folks. And then also up through Rockford into Wisconsin, just south of Madison. It is quite stormy. So these are storms that are already firing off, and they will continue into the rest of the afternoon and into the evening. And currently looking at just severe thunderstorm warnings, just have to double check there, but these have the potential to spin as we head later on into the afternoon and evening. So you can take a look here at the weather radar over the next few hours, and you can see these storms continue to fire off, and then they even dip down into Tennessee. So Tennessee has the threat of severe storms later this evening into the overnight. And then as we head into tomorrow, we have a threat that extends all across much of the Mississippi Valley. So there's a lot to talk about. So here is our tornado watch that we have currently in place. This does include Chicago. This includes a good chunk of Illinois, basically the eastern half. Let me see. It does include Indianapolis as well. I had to take a closer look. So that's from the Storm Prediction Center. So that's the only tornado watch we have right now, but just wanted to point out that there is that potential for tornadoes. And you look at this outlook, and you can see Indianapolis is included in the enhanced risk. That's a level 3 out of 5. And it's really that little area in orange and also in yellow that has the greatest risk for severe storms and for tornadoes and damaging winds. Those are the main threats we're seeing today. So Chicago down through Nashville into Bowling Green, over into Charleston, West Virginia. These areas are under a slight risk, and this does include that southeast edge of Missouri. And basically that means that you've got a pretty good chance to see a few severe thunderstorms this afternoon and evening. Now, the enhanced area is a level 3 out of 5, and that includes Fort Wayne, Indianapolis, Cincinnati, Columbus, Louisville. And that area definitely has the best chance of seeing severe weather. And let's break it down into these different categories for you. So the tornado risk today, and this is for this afternoon, into the overnight. Tomorrow's risk a little different. That will start up in the morning and continue throughout the day into Thursday morning. But this risk, which goes through about 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, includes Louisville. There's what you call hatched areas, and that means there's not only a 10% chance you could see a tornado within 25 miles of your location, but there's the chance that those tornadoes could be strong. So we had a strong tornado really caused a lot of damage in Oklahoma last night. We could see more strong tornadoes again throughout the rest of the day. Now, of course, we hope that doesn't happen, but we want to make sure you're prepared. So we do have that risk for strong tornadoes. And if I'm mentioning your name, you really need to be paying attention. Make sure you have the alerts turned on your phone, and your weather and radar alerts turned on as well. It's really easy to do that in the app. But basically, Fort Wayne, Indianapolis, Cincinnati, Columbus, Louisville, you folks especially need to be on alert for tornadoes. And you can see a tornado even, the chances are lower, but you can see a tornado in Little Rock and Jackson, Tennessee, Nashville, Bowling Green, Kentucky, Chicago, Cleveland, Ohio, Pittsburgh. There's a lot of big cities included in that risk, but it's really the yellow area that has the greatest potential for those storms to start rotating. Damaging winds, also a pretty big risk tonight. I would say that's a bigger risk because it stretches over a much larger area. So if you get a severe thunderstorm warning, it's likely going to be because of wind. And the hail risk is also there. Could see some large hail in Chicago and Fort Wayne and into, areas like Louisville. And as we head into tomorrow, we're actually going to see that hail risk get even larger and cover more areas. So that's what we're focused on for right now. Let's talk about the threat for tomorrow. So your Wednesday, also looking quite stormy, but you see this risk, and it stretches all the way from East Texas, from Waco, in through Arkansas, Missouri, Tennessee, and Kentucky, east, all the way into the mid-Atlantic almost. And you've got spots like Raleigh and Charlotte included in this, and Chattanooga, and it's not quite to Atlanta, but it's in North Georgia, that slight risk. And then the enhanced risk includes a really large area. That's a pretty big region under enhanced. It's level 3 out of 5 once again. And basically that means that you've got a pretty good chance of seeing a severe thunderstorm tomorrow in these areas. And some of the cities include Nashville, which is where I'm located. Louisville, Bowling Green again. We got Memphis, we got Little Rock, Springfield, Missouri. And this is, not quite to Dallas, but it's pretty close to the Dallas and Waco areas where you've got a slight risk. So that kind of gives you an idea of just how big that threat is. Let's go through tomorrow with our weather radar. And, you start out with some thunderstorms tomorrow, and they just keep firing up. And then you get this second cluster. So you've got basically 2 rounds. You get the first round in the morning, then that comes to an end around lunchtime, and then afternoon, evening, and beyond, you get this very large cluster of thunderstorms moving through. And there's a lot going on with these storms. We've got a lot of energy to work with. We have a lot of moisture, and there's going to be a lot of boundaries for these storms to kind of fire up on. So it's really going to depend. Tomorrow, things could change very rapidly. So you've got that first round in the morning, second round, afternoon, evening, into the overnight. Just make sure you're paying attention. And if you ever are on our weather radar and you want to know what's happening right now, all you have to do is click now. And you can see once again, getting stormy around Chicago, into Wisconsin, and of course Columbus into eastern Kentucky. There's that line right there. So that's what's happening right now. But that kind of just gives you an idea. And breaking down these threats is, once again, is for tomorrow. It's for Wednesday. That tornado risk, we've got that hatched area again where we could see strong tornadoes. It's EF2 or above. And that includes Springfield in Missouri. Looks like it includes Louisville again, or not quite Louisville, but close. St. Louis included, Evansville, Indiana, Bowling Green, Kentucky, and Nashville, Tennessee. And you could see a tornado anywhere from, eastern Texas up through, North Carolina, Virginia, even a chance here on the back end in spots like Des Moines and Sioux Falls. So, yeah, that's something you really need to watch for. Have a plan, and especially considering that a lot of these storms tomorrow, not only do we have that round earlier in the day, but the nighttime tornadoes are going to be a possibility tomorrow as well. We could see action after sunset. So please make sure you have a plan, know where your safe spot is, and have a way to get warnings, preferably multiple ways to get warnings. Not only is your phone a good option, but a NOAA weather radio, if you have it, make sure it's charged or got fresh batteries in it, whatever you need to do to make sure that you get the alerts. Damaging winds, a big threat tomorrow. I think even a bigger threat than they are today. And, across pretty much the same areas that are going to see that tornado threat. Here's the threat I was talking about earlier, the threat for large hail being more expansive and covering a larger area. So this includes Waco, it includes Dallas, but then you see this, 30% chance of big hail within 25 miles there in red. So if you're in, say, Springfield, Missouri tomorrow, you've got a 30% chance you see some big hail within 25 miles of where you're at. Same story in Nashville, Bowling Green, up through Louisville. This is something you want to prepare for if you can. If you have covered parking, bring your car in, put it into the garage, because these could be some pretty massive hailstones, and that can cause a lot of damage. You would be shocked to see how much hail can damage a car. It's not just your windshield. We're talking dents and all sorts of things. So if you can prepare by putting your vehicle inside, I would do it. That's what I'm planning on doing. But yeah, that's what we're looking at for tomorrow. And as we head even beyond that, day 3, you see this risk going all the way to the Gulf Coast, stretching from, Austin, Waco, all the way up into the mid-Atlantic. So we're not quite done yet. We're going to keep a close eye. That's for Thursday on that risk as well. But you take a look here on our weather radar, and you can see that line of storms forming on Thursday and just continuing to push to the south. So we're not anywhere near done yet. We've just had an active severe weather season so far. And, yesterday everything was in the plains. Today into tomorrow, it has shifted to the east. Once again, go to weatherandradar.com or download the Weather and Radar app for the latest information. And, we always have the latest forecast. So that way you are up to date with what's going on, and you can see what's going on with our weather radar. Once again, you just want to click now, and it shows you what's happening right now. And once again, you got this line here from Columbus, Ohio down south. It's actually the storms in Wisconsin and Illinois right now that are going to be dipping east and possibly causing a lot more trouble. So this might seem like the big event right now if you're in Columbus. It's quite stormy, but it's not. We got more on the way. So please stay safe. Be prepared to seek shelter and keep it with us. Not only are we going to keep you updated on the forecast, we're going to keep you updated on the aftermath. Go check out those videos we have of the damage in Oklahoma. And remember to follow us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. We've got links in the caption of this or in our description. Everything you need to know about downloading Weather on Radar and following us. I appreciate you sticking with me, and I hope you guys stay safe. Please take